I am Larry Hatcher. This is Psych 302 Computer Applications and Data Analysis, and we're looking at Jamovi Exercise 09004, ANOVA with one between subject factor, interpretation, and write-up. Exercise overview. This exercise is essentially part 2 of an exercise that you should have completed recently. The exercise that you should have completed was Jamovi Exercise 09001, ANOVA with one between subjects factor, input, assumptions, and analysis. In that exercise, you read about an investigation dealing with the relationship between screen size of e-readers and subsequent reading enjoyment scores displayed by a sample of research participants. In that exercise, you created a data set in Jamovi, computed descriptive statistics, and performed a one-way ANOVA. You then took a short multiple-choice quiz which assessed your understanding of the descriptive statistics you had created, whether your data satisfied assumptions underlying ANOVA and similar issues. In the current exercise, you'll review the same Jamovi output that you had created and reviewed in the previous exercise. As long as you have created the data set and performed the analysis requested in that previous exercise, you will not need to perform any analysis with Jamovi for this exercise. Instead, you'll simply open that Jamovi file that you had created in the previous exercise, and we'll review the descriptive statistics and the results from the ANOVA that you had performed in. Most of the current exercise will focus on the second half of lecture notes, chapter 090, ANOVA with one between subjects factor. We'll cover approximately pages 34 to 50. Those are the pages from the lecture notes that'll be relevant to the exercise that you're going to perform now. Let's scroll down a bit. I'm still on page 1 of the exercise. The current exercise consists only of task 2, taking the multiple choice quiz. You will not need to perform any new analyses in Jamovi, and you will not need to upload a Jamovi file. Basically, we'll use the study guide in task 2 to prepare, and you'll take that multiple choice quiz related to the study guide. Okay, preview of some of the correct Jamovi results from the previous exercise. If you perform the statistical analysis correctly in the previous exercise, the results you obtained should match the results provided below. Your Jamovi document will contain more tables and plots than are displayed below. These are my hint output, just so you're making sure that you're looking at output that is correct. This is output that you would have created last week when you completed last week's exercise. You're looking at the dependent variable reading enjoyment scores. When you look at the means for the 3 conditions, the mean for the 6-inch screen condition should be 27.75, 10-inch should be 55.63, 12-inch should be 52.00. Check your numbers against my numbers and make sure they match before you get started with the study guide that will be coming up. I give you as hint output the results from the ANOVA itself. Make sure that in your results you've got the same F statistic that I have, and so forth. Here's the results of the post hoc test performed last week. Make sure that your numbers match my numbers here. Here's a graph that illustrates estimated marginal means for the 3 conditions. Your figure should look like my figure. Now, getting ready for the multiple choice quiz that you're going to take. I'm at the bottom of page 3. Task 2, taking the multiple choice quiz. At the same time that I assign this exercise, I'll also publish a related multiple choice quiz in Canvas. This section provides a study guide that should help you prepare for that quiz. Most of the questions refer to material covered in lecture notes for this unit. The lecture notes, they were titled Lecture Notes, Chapter 090, ANOVA with one between subjects factor. You should have those lecture notes in front of you as you work on the study guide, as well as when you take the multiple choice quiz, which, as you know, is an open book quiz. The section on pages 34 to 50 will be particularly important for answering these questions. That is, the section headed Interpreting Results from the Analysis to the end of that chapter. The concepts in the study guide below are foundational concepts that you must know not only for the current multiple choice quiz, but also for quizzes that you'll take later this semester. Also, remember that you're allowed only a limited amount of time when taking the multiple choice quiz, and this means you should spend a good deal of time studying the lecture notes and verifying that you're able to answer all the questions in this study guide. We scroll down, and here's the questions in the study guide. I'm not going to read all of them, but I highlighted a couple of them just to give you a representative sense of what to expect on the multiple choice quiz. If you can answer these open-ended questions, you'll be able to answer the multiple choice corresponding questions on the quiz. Questions like, based on the values appearing in the Jamovi output headed estimated marginal means, what was the mean reading enjoyment score displayed by the 6-inch screen condition? What was the mean score for the 10-inch screen condition? What was the mean for the 12-inch screen condition? You should be able to answer questions like that. You should be able to answer questions like 3. Your study was designed to investigate the following research hypothesis. Reading enjoyment scores will be higher in the 12-inch screen condition than in the 10-inch or 6-inch conditions, and those in the 10-inch condition will be higher than those in the 6-inch condition. Given this research hypothesis, what's the omnibus statistical null hypothesis that was tested by the F statistic you computed in your analysis? That's the kind of question you should be able to answer on my multiple choice quiz. Questions like, according to your ANOVA summary table, the one headed ANOVA enjoyment in your Jamovi output, what was your obtained F statistic? What was the obtained probability value, that is p-value, associated with this F statistic? Assuming you set alpha criterion at 0.05, will you reject this null hypothesis? You should be able to answer questions like that. You should be able to answer questions like this, 8b. Question might present, so this is the part where you demonstrate that you're able to summarize your results in correct APA style. Item 8b. A question might present several different examples of ways that one might report results from the omnibus significance test and omnibus index of effect size. One of these examples would be correct, and the others would be incorrect. With such a question, you should be able to identify the one example that A is incorrect APA style, and B also correctly reports the statistics that actually appeared in the Jamovi results for this analysis. These concepts were covered in Chapter 090 in the sections headed Omnibus Null Hypothesis Significance Test and Omnibus Index of Effect Size. You should be able to answer questions like that. I've just touched on a few of the questions in the study guide, but you should go over the study guide with your results in hand and be sure that you're able to answer all these before you begin your multiple choice quiz. Usually with these exercises, there's a task 3, but not exactly with this one. Task 3, there's no need to upload your Jamovi file in Canvas assignments. Nope, you will not upload any file in the Canvas assignments pertaining to this exercise because you had already uploaded your Jamovi file when you completed the exercise for the previous, when you completed the analyses for the previous exercise. The only thing you will worry about for the current exercise is making sure you can answer my study guide questions and being able to take the corresponding multiple choice quiz. That is your preview of what to expect for Jamovi Exercise 09004, ANOVA One Between Factor, Interpretation, and Write-Up.